Welcome back to Project 613. We have been learning about Meiser Rishon, which is the first tithe that a farmer has to take from his produce, and that is after already separating 2% for the Kohen, known as Teruma. He then has to separate 10% of the remainder and give it to the Levi, and as we've learned, this is called Meiser Rishon, the first tithe. So today we once again review this mitzvah for the last time, and then we move on to the next mitzvah, which is about the second tithe, known as Meiser Sheni. Meiser Sheni, the second tithe, is not given to anyone in particular, rather it's kept by the owner himself. The owner has to designate an additional 10% after giving the 10% to the Levi. From the remainder, he has to designate an additional 10% known as Meiser Sheni, the second tithe, which is kept for himself, but it needs to be taken to Jerusalem and the owner needs to eat it in Jerusalem. That is the halacha of Meiser Sheni, of the second tithe. Now, what happens if the farmer is not traveling to Jerusalem anytime soon, or maybe he is, but it's too much to schlep to Jerusalem? He can then redeem it for money, and he takes the money of the Meiser Sheni to Jerusalem, and in Jerusalem he buys food, and he eats the food purchased with the Meiser Sheni money in Jerusalem. If he does choose to redeem it rather than take the produce himself, he has to pay an additional fifth on top of the value of the produce itself. Now, unlike Teruma, the 2% that went to the Kohen, and unlike Meiser Rishon, which is the 10% that goes to the Levi, which is separated every year of the agricultural cycle, Meiser Sheni, the second tithe, is only separated on the first, second, fourth, and fifth year of the cycle. On the third and sixth year, as we've already learned previously, Meiser Sheni is alternated with Meiser Ani, which is a 10% that goes to the poor. But on the first, second, fourth, and fifth year, this second 10%, the Meiser Sheni, is taken to Jerusalem and is eaten there. We know this from the verse that says, Aser ta'aser et kol tvas arecha hayotze hasada shana shana. The second mitzvah that we learn today, also about Meiser Sheni, is that it is forbidden for a person to use the money that the Meiser Sheni was redeemed with for anything else apart from buying food, even for the purpose of another mitzvah. The verse says, V'lo natati mimenu lemet, I haven't spent it on the dead, which the Medrash tells us, this comes to teach us that even for something as important as paying for a casket or shrouds for the dead, it is forbidden to use the Meiser Sheni money. It can only be used for food. So if it cannot be used even for such important matters, such as tending to the dead, how much more so it cannot be used for anything else which is not mitzvah-like. Rather, it can only be spent in Jerusalem on food. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.